Nesine.com'dan herkese mutlu bir gün diliyorum. Liverpool'la Chelsea UEFA Süper Kupa için yarışacaklar. Maçsa Vodafone Park'ta. Nesine.com'da kuponunu oluşturmak isteyen izleyicilerimiz için bu maça tek maç olarak kupon hazırlayabileceğinizi hatırlatalım ve sizler için Liverpool ve Chelsea'yi yakından takip eden İngiliz muhabirlerden fikirlerini aldık. İzliyoruz.
Hi everyone, looking forward to the UEFA Super Cup in Istanbul in Vodafone Park. Liverpool go into the game obviously as European champions against Chelsea, and I think they go in as favourites for the match as well. They've obviously been performing fantastically well in Europe under Jurgen Klopp. They're yet to lose a knockout tie in Europe. In fact, the last team to beat them in a knockout tie, can you remember? It was, in fact, Besiktas in the Atatürk Stadium. They beat Brendan Rodgers' side in 2015. So there is a little bit of history there. And of course, Liverpool have great history with Istanbul, having won the Champions League in 2005. They go in on the back of a Community Shield defeat, beaten by Manchester City, but a very encouraging second half display from Liverpool. They played very well at Wembley, came back into the game, should have won the game really if Mohamed Salah on another day he would have had a hat-trick or even more. They eventually lost on penalties with Gini Wijnaldum missing. I expect Liverpool to go in with confidence. Line-up wise, I don't think there'll be too many differences from last season. Liverpool of course haven't spent big in the transfer market this summer, so there's no real new faces coming in, only returning ones in the shapes of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, maybe Adam Lallana, maybe Naby Keita as well. I think line-up wise you'll be looking, the questions will be over the centre-backs, whether it'll be Joe Gomez or Joel Matip or even Dejan Lovren, who actually missed the crucial penalty in that game against Besiktas that I referred to earlier. I would go with Joe Gomez at the moment. I think him and Virgil van Dijk is a very good partnership. The other question surrounds the midfield with 5 options really for 3 places: Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, James Milner and Naby Keita. Keita's looked good in pre-season. I think he's got a big chance to have a big season this year. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw him starting in the Super Cup. And then the front 3, well, we know who they'll be. It'll be Mohamed Salah on the right, Sadio Mane on the left, and Roberto Firmino up front, Divock Origi. Of course, the hero of the Champions League run last season. I think he'll be content with a bench role this season. In terms of the Community Shield, I don't think there'll be too much to worry about from Jurgen Klopp's perspective. As I say, City had a good first 20-30 minutes, but Liverpool fought back into the game and with a better side for pretty much the whole of the second half, and should have won the game in normal time before the lottery of penalties. Chelsea, well, it's a big question of what we'll see from Chelsea. It's hard to say at the moment. They've obviously got a transfer ban in place, and they haven't really been able to strengthen their squad as a result. But Frank Lampard, the new manager, he's got obviously had on the back of a decent season at Derby, took them to the playoff final in the Championship but wasn't able to get them over the line. It'll be interesting to see how he copes with his first job in the Premier League. They've brought in Christian Pulisic, he's the big one, but they've also lost their big player in Eden Hazard, so it remains to be seen how they handle that. I expect Chelsea to be a bit cautious to start with. I don't think they'll go all guns blazing, especially not against Liverpool, who obviously are a team that can rip them apart on the counter-attack. So I expect Chelsea to be a bit more compact, with Liverpool dominating the possession of the ball and trying to get into attacking positions. But Chelsea solid defensively. It'll be seen how big the loss of David Luiz is and how they handle that at the back, because obviously they've got players such as Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zouma, Antonio Rudiger, Cesar Azpilicueta as well. They haven't been able to strengthen those centre-back options, so I think it's going to be a youthful Chelsea defence compared to what we're used to. In terms of Istanbul as a venue, well, it'll always be popular with Liverpool fans, as I say, given 2005 and the history there. I think when it was at Monaco, the Super Cup, the last time Liverpool played there, it was a bit of a soulless stadium. The atmosphere wasn't great. I expect it to be a little bit better in Vodafone Park. We know how passionate the Besiktas fans are, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of local supporters there who are going to enjoy the game. And so I'm looking forward to it. Always good to visit a great city like Istanbul, but I'll always back Liverpool in a game like this. I think in a final, especially with Jurgen Klopp, and I think Liverpool really want to get their hands on this trophy. They really want to show that they are the European elite team, and so I'm backing Liverpool to win the game by 2-1. I think it'll be a Mohamed Salah day again. I think he'll get both of the goals and they'll beat Chelsea by 2-1.
Frank Lampard has come into Chelsea and won 4 pre-season matches, drawn 2 and lost 1. So the early signs are it's very good for Lampard. You know, he's a new manager, very inexperienced, came from Derby County last season. He's only managed for 1 year so far in his career, and he's got this massive job at Chelsea. And you know, it's going to be tough next season. I think that Chelsea have a transfer ban on them, so they can't sign any players. They lost Eden Hazard. But Frank Lampard's guide to unite the club, it's been very divided under the last manager. The last manager, Maurizio Sarri, was booed at Stamford Bridge. Very vocal majority, really, in the stadium wanted him to leave the club, even though he won the Europa League. So Frank Lampard is very popular. He's going to make the fans all support the club and go in one direction, and he's going to implement young players next season in the first team squad. We've seen Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount and Fikayo Tomori used in pre-season, and they're going to be promoted from the academy and into the first team. So next season under Frank Lampard, it promises to be explosive, and what a reaction he's going to get. He is the hero of Chelsea and he's come back home. So yeah, Frank Lampard's changed his formation. He's going to go from a 4-3-3 last season that Maurizio Sarri used. Sarri also didn't change his formation at any point during the season, really. So Lampard's going to come in and implement a 4-2-3-1. It's the same formation that Jose Mourinho used when he was Chelsea manager. So yeah, we're going to see a big change. Chelsea are also going to be tactically flexible. They've tried out 3 different systems in pre-season, so Chelsea will change for the opposition, but I think that 4-2-3-1 will be the main formation. People like Christian Pulisic will be a key player in this system, and yeah, I think that that's going to be the way Chelsea tried to score goals without Eden Hazard. They're going to play with 4 attacking players, all trying to get goals next season. Which Chelsea players are in form? There's pretty obvious answers. You know, Ross Barkley, he scored 4 goals and got 3 assists in pre-season, more than anyone else, more goals, more assists. So he's potentially going to be a big player for Chelsea next year. He's always sort of threatened to be the wonder kid of English football, but he's never really delivered. And now this could be his year, you know, playing for a goal-scoring midfielder in Frank Lampard. You know, Frank Lampard, 211 goals in his Chelsea career, the record scorer, and now maybe Ross Barkley can add goals to his game and really become a threat next season. Other notable good pre-season performances were Mateo Kovacic, Jorginho. They were both very good, and Mason Mount, the young player from Derby County last season, who's now in Chelsea's first team squad. I think Frank Lampard will be quite wary of playing against Liverpool. You know, they're the European champions. Champions League is the bigger competition. Liverpool are a more powerful team than Chelsea right now, so I think Lampard would be wise to be a bit careful of what's to come from Jurgen Klopp's side, and I think that maybe we'll see Chelsea's a slightly more defensive team, but it's funny because actually Frank Lampard's team have a very similar style of football to Jurgen Klopp's team now with the new manager. Frank Lampard kind of uses some of the same techniques, so we'll see, you know, high pressing, we'll see a very high energy game here in Turkey, so it's going to be great and I can't wait to watch it. It's always hard to predict what kind of game we're going to see, but we saw in the Community Shield here in England, it was Manchester City versus Liverpool, and that game was a very, very competitive game, and I think we'll see the same really in the Liverpool-Chelsea game over in Turkey in Istanbul. So I expect, you know, competitive, high bragging rights, and I think Frank Lampard would love to get a trophy under his belt, a first major honour as manager in his second game in charge after playing Manchester United at the weekend. So it'll be a massive game for that reason, and Jurgen Klopp hasn't won that many trophies for Liverpool. Yes, he won the Champions League last season, but he'll want more, so it's going to be a really competitive game for that reason, and I expect an exciting night in Istanbul. Liverpool are the favourites to win the game, so I predict they'll win on penalties, maybe 1-1. We go to extra time, then we go to penalties, and Liverpool win on penalties, so we'll see about that, but yeah, it's going to be a very hard game to predict. Even, you know, we know with these top 6 teams, they're so close in England. You know, we've got all these great teams over here, and I can't wait for Istanbul to get their eyes on them. And as for the atmosphere as well, I think that you know, we say in England that the Turkish atmosphere is one of the best, so I think we're expecting a lot, but yeah, it's a big UEFA showpiece game as well, so hopefully many English fans travel and sort of contribute to the atmosphere, but I'm sure there's many Chelsea fans, there's many Liverpool fans over in Istanbul who can't wait to see their stars perform on a big stage.
Liverpool ve Chelsea'yi yakından takip eden İngiliz muhabirlerin görüşleri bu şekildeydi. Tekrar hatırlatayım, Liverpool-Chelsea maçına Nesine.com'dan tek maç olarak kupon hazırlayabilirsiniz. İzlediğiniz için teşekkür ederim.